What if I told you you can make TikTok Shop content and make multiple 5 figures profit from anywhere in the world? You might think I'm lying, but many of my students are already doing this. Like Bo, who lives in Vietnam, like Max that lives in Italy, and like Zane that lives all the way in Sweden. And these 3 that I just named aren't just one-off examples. We have students all over the world doing this, with some making their entire yearly salary in just a single month. And like I was saying, the craziest part about this, all the guys that I listed doing TikTok Shop are doing it all completely outside of the US. They never need to order the product, they never need to show their face, they never need to speak to the camera, and they're leveraging AI every single day to actually make the content for them. Now I know you guys might be saying TikTok Shop's only available in a few countries. And with that, you're right, but there's a reason we mainly target the US shoppable markets. Because overall in the US, the audience that watches TikTok and buys shoppable products have the money just to blow like $20 to $50 on a random TikTok Shop product. In the US, you also have some of the biggest brands with a ton of products under them. And the amount of commissions that some of these brands offer make a viral video extremely valuable. And when you compare US TikTok Shop to some of the smaller markets with Shop, the potential is huge. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to get into the US market yourself. And overall, we're gonna cover 3 different topics. First is how to get into the US TikTok Shop program outside of the US. Because that right there alone used to be one of the biggest barriers for all international creators. And finally is how the payouts and commissions work outside of the US. That way you guys understand how the money gets out of your US TikTok Shop account into your bank account. By the end of this video, you should have a full understanding on what you need to get started on US TikTok Shop and literally work from anywhere in the world. So with that being said, let's jump into the first and probably the most important part, getting a US TikTok Shop account. For TikTok Shop accounts, there's really only 2 routes that I want to talk about here, with the first route being buying and the second route being growing. Now, in my opinion, buying is the best route to go, only because it takes away the time that it takes for you to grow the account, so you can actually start making shoppable content and making money right away. Plus, with growing, there's a lot of issues that come in the back end that a lot of people don't talk about when actually growing these accounts. Now, in my opinion, the best route to go overall is buying. Instead of starting from 0, you already have the established 5,000 followers, the account's already approved on TikTok Shop, so you can start posting shoppable content right away instead of spending all that time trying to grow an account where it might not even get accepted into the TikTok Shop program. Now with growing, the hardest part is not getting all these followers. Getting to 5K followers is actually pretty easy. It's what comes after it that makes it so tricky. Because hitting the follower amount of 5K does not mean you automatically get accepted into the program. With growing, you're just gonna run into multiple roadblocks. As you guys can see here, this is an account that has over 5K followers. It has all the requirements besides the community guidelines one. And even account growers that sell TikTok Shop accounts run into this problem. So if you're growing, don't expect to just get accepted right away. And in some cases with growing, it could take months to even get accepted past this part right here where it says you need to meet the community guidelines. And the whole idea of buying an account versus growing is pretty simple. I want to remove as much friction as possible between you starting TikTok Shop versus getting stuck in the growth phase that might take months to even get accepted in the first place. With buying, you can just move with speed, get the account and start posting right away so you don't waste any time. Now, there is obviously one major downside to actually buying accounts versus growing them, and that's the cost and the risk involved with some of these sellers. And a lot of the TikTok Shop suppliers in the space are charging upwards of like $400 to $500 per account, as you guys can see right here. This is a pretty big community and they're charging for a 100K account almost $550. Not only that, but this space has a ton of different suppliers and you just need to be careful overall who you're buying from. Because the last thing I want you guys to do is to find somebody online that's selling TikTok Shop accounts, send them hundreds of dollars and receive an account that wasn't as advertised. For example, you get sent an account that isn't even TikTok Shop verified. So you'd get the account and you can't even post shoppable content on it. So if you guys are looking on going towards the route of buying accounts and moving with speed, I recommend joining the free community below. Inside the free community, we have an in-house account supplier. So pretty much how it will work is you'll join the free community, you'll just scroll down a little bit till you see the shop account section. And then from here, you can just open a ticket with the account manager. The account manager will also let you know the steps you need to take to actually buy the account. And of course, the prices are not gonna be $400, $500 for a single account. We offer way better prices than a lot of these Discord communities. But of course, buying isn't your only option. You can always grow the accounts. Like I said, I just strongly recommend buying because if you're stuck spending all this time trying to grow these accounts just for them to not get approved, you're most likely not going to stick with it and you're just going to end up giving up. And to be fully transparent, growing these accounts are only just going to delay your success versus moving with speed, buying the accounts, and posting content right away. And now you guys might be asking, what about the US proxy or the US IP? Because traditionally, if you guys come from the e-com space, if you're doing organic drop shipping, you probably need a US phone or a US SIM to actually target the US. But for this setup, you don't actually need a physical US phone to be able to do US TikTok shop. We're going to be using an app called VMOS. And what VMOS is, it's essentially just a digital phone environment. So instead of needing a physical phone at your desk with these US TikTok shop accounts and US SIM cards, for example, everything can be done right at your computer with virtual phones. And this overall makes managing accounts so much more convenient because instead of buying multiple physical phones, you can have dedicated virtual phones right on your computer. So literally, if you're going to the airport, you have 30 phones in your pocket, obviously it's gonna look a little crazy. You can have all that stuff right on your MacBook, accessible from anywhere. And the best part about this is all these phones can be set up with a US proxy. So instead of trying to go buy a US phone with a US SIM, you can manage everything remotely, and this is exactly how you do it. Okay, so now that we're on VMOS, you're gonna pop up on this screen right here. So basically, you can download the actual app version. If you're on MacBook or Windows, you can actually download the app, or you can just do it through the URL, which is vmoscloud.com. And from what I know, they both operate the same, so whichever you choose, it doesn't really matter. And then first step, obviously, is you wanna make an account. And with VMOS, there's not really a need to make multiple accounts because on your account, you can have multiple phones on this main account right here. But now that we're signed in, you can see all these different tabs here on the left. And one of the main tabs we're going to be using is the home tab. So on the home tab, you can see all of your digital phones here. And pretty much how this is going to work is per TikTok shop account, you need one new IP and one new digital phone. And here's why. Let's say you have one account under an IP and that account ends up getting banned. That means that IP is way more susceptible to getting flagged if you log in with another TikTok shop account because that IP is associated with a banned TikTok shop account. So that new TikTok shop account that you log into with your, original IP and your original phone has a way higher chance of getting banned again because that same IP already has record of an account ban previously. And you can randomly get hit with something like a risky association behavior ban. So let's say, for example, you have 5 total accounts. Pretty much you're just gonna want separate 5 phones as well as separate 5 IPs per, TikTok shop account. Now to actually get started, the first thing we're going to need to do is buy a new proxy underneath this proxy tab here. So once you select proxy, you need to go over here to buy proxy. And for the IP type that you want, make sure it's selected here, the static ISP residential IP. For the IP provider, make sure to click Owl Proxy Zone D. For the region, make sure you click United States, as well as for the city, you can click whatever city you want. I recommend to have different cities per proxy that you buy, mainly for organizational purposes, because if you have 5 different IPs underneath Arizona, it's going to be kind of hard to track which IP is linked to which phone. So make sure all your cities are different. So for this one, for example, let's just click Arizona Phoenix. Then for the purchase duration, I only do up to 30 days. You can do longer, but the reason I select 30 days is because you never know when a TikTok shop account ban is going to happen. So let's say you click 90 days, but your account only lasts 30 days, then you just wasted your money on 90 days worth of duration when you can't even use that full 90 days. And if you wanted to have auto renewal, you can, but I usually deselect this. So what you would need to do when the 30 days is approaching, just make sure to renew your IP. And then from here, you can just submit your purchase. Okay, once you buy your proxy, it should pop up on the main proxy page. As you guys can see here, I just bought the Arizona one, I believe. And then from here, you just want to click edit and then scroll down till you see network detection and make sure you click that. When you click network detection, you should see something like this pop up, which means that it's good. So just click OK. And then right here, you should see proxy status normal. That means your proxy's up and ready to go. Now we need to actually buy the device. So go up here to buy/renew. For device type, click high-end real machine. And then for the Android, make sure it's Android 13. And then the actual phone model that you want to select is Google Pixel 7 Pro. And for the country, make sure you select United States. And then for the duration, do 30 days as well, same amount of time as your IP. So if your phone ends up expiring, so will your IP, so you'll know to actually, renew both if needed. And then for me, I always deselect auto renewal. And then down here for device parameters and IP address, you just want to click this, select use existing IP. And then right here, you will see the proxy that you just bought. So make sure to click right here. And then on the right side, you'll see the amount of phones that this proxy is actually connected to. So right here, you see 0. That means it's good, so click OK. And then right here, you just want to click network detection again, just to make sure everything's tested properly. And then if you get this check mark, that means everything's all good. So from right here, you'll just select buy now. And then after you do that, back on the homepage, you should have your first phone pop up here. And then from here, you can go ahead and download TikTok, log into the TikTok Shop account. It operates as a normal phone, so you can literally do everything when it comes to downloading apps, downloading Google Drive, uploading photos on TikTok, everything you need to do. And from here, you're basically ready to go and log into your actual shop account. So now that you guys understand how to get these TikTok shop accounts and how to set up VMOS, we can finally move into the payout section. Because this is probably one of the biggest questions you guys are going to have and probably one of the biggest bottlenecks you face as an international creator. Obviously, if you're running a US TikTok shop account, earning those commissions is only half of the equation, because you'll still need to figure out how to withdraw these commissions from your TikTok shop account when you're living outside of the US. And this is literally where a lot of international people get stuck, because they don't know what to do from here. They get the account set up, they understand how everything works, and then they still need identity, tax, and other things like that to prove that they're a US citizen so they can actually receive their payouts on a US account. But instead of trying to use fake US documents, there's another method that we use to actually receive your commission. And this is why we use something called the 1% method. Not only does this keep your commission safe from bans and violations, but it also allows you to get paid out when you're international. Basically, how it works is the brand you're working with will send you a 1% collaboration invite. As you guys can see here, the commissions are really low, but it's for a reason. This means only 1% of your total commission is actually tracked on TikTok Shop, while the rest is being tracked separately with the brand itself. And at the end of the month, the brand will actually look at the entire account's GMV, how much you actually made with the other 19% of the commission, for example, and they'll pay you out through things like PayPal and Wise. So if you're overseas, you don't need any type of US documents to actually get paid out from US TikTok Shop. And just so you guys can understand this a little bit better, let's say you made $20,000 in a single month for a brand. But instead of having that $20,000 in commissions sitting in your TikTok Shop account unable to withdraw, the majority of it is tracked with the brand and it's paid out through PayPal or Wise or something like that every single month. The brand can see exactly how much revenue you generated, calculate how much you're owed based on their commission rate, and send that money directly to you at the end of every single month. And that is exactly why the 1% method is super important for this international strategy, because you're not going to rely on TikTok as a third party to pay you out your commission when the brand is actually tracking your commission themselves and they can pay you out directly. Now, obviously, not every single brand is going to offer this 1% collaboration method. So the next thing you need to do is to understand how to find these brands that do offer the 1% collaboration method. And this is actually something we already have set up inside of our community. We work with many brands directly that offer this 1% method, and we give them all to our students. And we basically handle the entire back-end process for you. And the way it works is so simple. You send us the username of the TikTok Shop account as well as the brand that you want to work with. We submit that username directly to the brand itself, and the brand sends that 1% collaboration invite to your account directly. And from there, you can focus on making content and generating sales for that brand, earning you a commission. And at the end of the month, we have a form that you fill out to submit your GMV that you made for each specific brand, and we send that to the brand for you. We then handle everything on the back end with the brand itself, verifying the sales, calculating the commissions, and making sure these brands are going to get you paid out. So instead of reaching out to brands, trying to get them to set this stuff up, figure out how they track everything, and chasing them down every single month to make sure you get your payout, we handle that entire process for you. You submit your account as well as the brand that you want to work with, you generate the GMV, you submit your numbers at the end of every single month, and we work with the brand directly to make sure you receive your commission every single month. And before we keep going, I want to speak directly to the people who have watched 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 videos just like this and still haven't taken action. Because there is a huge difference in knowing about an opportunity and actually taking advantage of it. You can learn every single strategy, learn every single video, and join every single free community there is. And you're eventually going to tell yourself that you're going to start. But none of that ever matters if you're going to be a spectator and never execute on anything. And while you're sitting there consuming more information, there are people inside of our community who stopped consuming and actually started doing. They're learning from us, getting their content reviewed, and they're learning from their mistakes, and they're actually putting themselves in a position to win. And 6 months from now, we're still gonna be here. We're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep winning. And the people who took action are gonna keep progressing. And the only question you need to be asking is, in 6 months, are you going to be one of those people? Or are you still gonna be scrolling on TikTok, watching YouTube videos, joining free communities, watching everybody else win? So if you're actually serious about TikTok Shop and you're you're tired of failing over and over and over again, and you want to learn from people who have actually done it and be in a community of winners, you can click the link below and fill out the form to join the ScaleX AI Inner Circle. And this community is definitely not for people who aren't about it. So if you're lazy, don't even waste your time applying. This is for the people who are done consuming, ready to execute, and actually want to make this work for themselves. So if you're ready to stop watching and start building, click the link below and fill out the form. After you fill out the form, you'll be able to book a call. And on our call, we'll see if you're a good fit for the community. And like I said, this isn't for everybody, and we're very selective with who we actually work with. Other than that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, because I drop videos like this every single week.